Hide and seek with Saddam. Exclusive pictures. Can airstrikes really take out Iraq's deadly weapons? The crisis at the White House. The president fights back. America speaks out.
All of a sudden, he is a human. He is a real person.
Crippled by storms and floods. El Nino hits home hard. Tonight, tense waiting. More storms on the way.
From NBC News World Headquarters in New York, this is NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw.
Good evening. More diplomacy, more troops, and more rhetoric tonight as the long, methodical showdown with Saddam Hussein plays out around the world. The Pentagon tonight is considering a request for thousands of additional American troops in the Persian Gulf, while Defense Secretary William Cohen, already in that region, was reassuring American pilots today that force will be the last resort. We begin tonight with NBC's Andrea Mitchell.
In Baghdad, Iraqis prepare in case the U.S. strikes, while West Bank Palestinians demonstrate against the U.S. In Washington, yet another warning, even blunter than before, from the Secretary of State.
Do not doubt we have the authority to do this, the responsibility to do this, and the means and the will.
Saddam Hussein has been offering small concessions, visits, not inspections, limits on the number of buildings that can be examined, a 2-month time limit, no guarantee of follow-up by UN experts. None of this enough to avoid a military strike. On this, Republicans agree.
Iraq has provided every incentive for us to strike, and we must not squander the opportunity to eliminate its weapons of mass destruction from the outcry that will follow.
But there is disagreement about goals. The White House says the objective is to substantially diminish Iraq's capacity to rebuild weapons of mass destruction and missiles and reduce its ability to threaten its neighbors. Some Republicans say that does not go far enough.
As long as he's there, this could be a continuing problem. Maybe it's 2 months this time, 6 months. I'm not advocating, anything that's illegal. I'm just saying what are the long-term plans for dealing with this problem?
Tonight, top officials tell NBC News that they will spend the next few days studying Saddam's proposal to see if it is a feeler, a sign that he wants a diplomatic way out. If not, they say, a military strike before the end of this month is all but guaranteed. Tom?
Thanks very much, Andrea Mitchell, tonight. And while that is going on in the Middle East, the president here at home has escalated another war against Whitewater prosecutor Kenneth Starr, the man investigating charges of perjury and obstruction of justice in the Monica Lewinsky case. This is a political strategy that does seem to be working for the president, for now at least. Here's NBC's David Bloom. David?
Tom, as expected, the president's lawyers did file court papers late today asking a federal judge to impose sanctions against independent counsel Kenneth Starr, accusing Starr's prosecutors of leaking confidential grand jury testimony to the press. At the same time, those prosecutors now plan to force Monica Lewinsky to testify before a federal grand jury here in Washington as early as this week. Sources close to Lewinsky say the former White House intern has been subpoenaed to testify Thursday. Tomorrow, her lawyers are expected to ask a federal judge to quash that subpoena, arguing that Starr's office reneged on a deal to grant Lewinsky complete immunity from prosecution in exchange for her full cooperation. Meanwhile, NBC News has confirmed that one of the first grand jury witnesses, White House employee Ashley Raines, says Lewinsky told her she'd had a long-term sexual affair with the president and that Raines listened to voicemail messages allegedly left by Mr. Clinton on Lewinsky's home answering machine. But in a twist, sources say Lewinsky's lawyers now plan to argue that any job help she received from the president's personal secretary, Betty Currie, or Mr. Clinton's close friend, Vernon Jordan, was not meant to buy Lewinsky's silence about the alleged affair, but rather came at the urging of Walter Kay, the wealthy Democratic donor close to Lewinsky's family who originally helped her land the White House internship. No cover-up, these sources insist, just a deep-pocket donor helping a family friend. But that contradicts an earlier Newsweek reports that on January 13th at this Washington area hotel, FBI agents who'd wired Lewinsky's friend Linda Tripp secretly tape-recorded Lewinsky saying that she would not file an affidavit denying a sexual relationship with Mr. Clinton until and unless Vernon Jordan helped her get a job. Regardless of the conflicting stories, Mr. Clinton's job approval rating in the latest NBC News poll now stands at 79%, leaving Republicans frustrated and dismayed.
Well, what we need is a few more allegations of problems, and it could go over 100 maybe.
A White House spokesman did admit today that contrary to what the president said in his news conference last Friday, there are no rules that would stop Mr. Clinton from talking about the Lewinsky case, only common sense, his spokesman said. Tom?
David, what do we expect when and if Monica Lewinsky testifies before that federal grand jury?
If she's called before the grand jury and no deal is cut, sources tell us that she would take the Fifth Amendment. Prosecutors would likely grant her what's called use immunity and force her to testify anyway. As long as she didn't lie under oath in the grand jury, she couldn't be prosecuted for what she said there. Tom?
Thanks very much. David Bloom tonight at the White House once again. Still ahead tonight, NBC News in depth. We'll have more on that standoff with Iraq. Big plans for American airstrikes. But would that really solve the problem with Saddam Hussein?
You cannot target what you don't know, and you can't kill what you can't target.
A big military buildup, but still the question, is it really, in the end, mission impossible? Up next, the Golden State struggling with the wrath of El Nino again and again.
Someday I'd like a slightly larger house. Security for my kids, maybe even a little bit for retirement. All right, a lot.
Schwab's Mutual Fund One Source gives you access to hundreds of no-load funds. And our valuable tools can help you build your portfolio. Call now for our free select list.
Because part of setting a goal is finding a way to reach it.
Multigrain Cheerios. I love these.
This is new Multigrain Cheerios Plus.
Plus what?
We added 100% of 10 vitamins and minerals.
Mm-hmm.
New Multigrain Cheerios Plus.
I love them. Now don't you go change it.
Nobody does it like you.
In test after test, new wind tunnel by Hoover picks up more dirt than any other clean air upright.
Nobody
Wind tunnel by Hoover.
does it like you.
12-hour days, endless nights, no weekends to call their own. This is the stuff young lions are made of. And no headache will limit their imagination. Because this is the Advil generation. The advanced medicine of Advil is freedom from headaches, just like that. Headaches to muscle aches. Advil relieves all kinds of pain. Advil simply lets people do what they love to do.
In waterlogged California tonight, residents are nervous again, waiting for the next big hit from El Nino, and it could come before this night is over. On top of the damage from earlier storms that has left the state reeling. More now from NBC's George Lewis.
Cleanup time in Malibu. This exclusive oceanfront community digging out today from the storm damage.
I don't think we would have bought the house if we knew this was going to happen.
Farther south in San Clemente, the problem is high surf, waves crashing into a mobile home park for senior citizens. The weekend storm blew into Mexico, where there were 15 deaths reported in Baja California. 8 other people are missing. Back on this side of the border, 27 California counties are now under a state of emergency, with weather damage expected to top $1 billion. Clear Lake, 100 miles northwest of Sacramento, is overflowing its banks today, 1.5 feet above flood stage. 60 homes flooded, but most of the area's residents were spared and are toughing it out for the time being.
I think that they've got a little too excited too quick and putting everybody on notice a little quick, because we've seen worse than this.
I don't know what El Nino is going to bring, I mean, this is, getting bad, and it may get worse.
While the sun was out today, it was only a temporary reprieve for Clear Lake. Any more rain could put hundreds of homes in peril, and there's more rain in the forecast for later this week.
We are approximately 150 to 250% of normal for rainfall across the state of California.
Over the weekend, there were some dramatic rescues in the rain and a couple of firsts for firefighters in Contra Costa County. The first time they've ever saved a horse, and the first call ever for the department's new Swiftwater Rescue Unit. Kachina, a 13-year-old Appaloosa mare, was bedraggled, but okay. Today, Californians are hoping that the break in the weather will last. No more major storms predicted until next week. George Lewis, NBC News, Clear Lake, California.
There are some alarming new statistics tonight from this country's auto insurance industry. When a car is involved in a head-on collision with a sport utility vehicle or pickup truck, the occupants of the car are 4 times more likely to be killed than those in the bigger vehicles. In a side impact crash, car occupants are 30 times more likely to die. Insurers say design changes, especially to strengthen the sides of cars, are now needed. Up next, NBC News in Depth. More on the showdown with Saddam. Can U.S. forces find and then destroy his deadly weapons? But first from CNBC, let's take a look at what happened on Wall Street today.
You exercise.
Absolutely.
You eat right.
Every day.
With your high cholesterol, aren't you afraid of a first heart attack?
Why do you think I eat right and exercise?
Still, that might not be enough to prevent a first heart attack.
That won't happen to me. Won't happen to me.
But it can, because if you have high cholesterol, you could be at risk of a first heart attack.
Well, what else can I do?
Talk to your doctor about Provocol now. Lots of medications can lower cholesterol, but with Provocol, there's more. Provocol lowers cholesterol and is the only drug of its kind proven to help prevent a first heart attack.
So it can really help control my risk?
Yes, in fact, Provocol can reduce the risk up to 1/3. Provocol, when used together with diet and exercise, has been prescribed for millions. It's not for people with liver problems or women who are pregnant or nursing or may become pregnant. Your doctor may do blood tests to check your liver function, because serious side effects can result. Tell your doctor about any muscle pain or weakness you experience while on Provocol. For information, ask your doctor or call us. Provocol, proven to reduce the risk of a first heart attack up to 1/3. How much butter does it take for mouth-watering mashed potatoes? None. Use Swanson broth instead. Rich, golden Swanson chicken broth adds loads of flavor, and it's 99% fat-free. Put in Swanson broth instead of butter for delicious mashed potatoes that are light, fluffy, and low in fat. And now Swanson broth also comes in a resealable carton, so adding flavor without adding fat's a snap. Recipe after recipe. Swanson broth, when all you want to add is flavor.
Dateline Monday, Death of a Princess, the much-talked-about new book. Now Dateline gives you an inside look at what's been uncovered about Diana.
He was going to propose to her formally that night.
Plus what the driver was doing moments before the fatal crash.
Henri Paul fooled the bodyguards.
Yeah, he fooled them.
An all-new Dateline NBC tonight.
NBC News in Depth tonight. We have more on the standoff with Iraq and the big question looming in the background as more American soldiers get ready to head to the Persian Gulf. Could we really destroy Iraq's weapons of mass destruction? Consider the Gulf War, Operation Desert Storm. The U.S. and our allies flew more than 126,000 combat missions, dropping a total of 96,000 tons of bombs. And yet, Saddam now is more dangerous than ever. So what will it take to stop him this time? Is he stoppable at all? Some answers in depth tonight from NBC's Jim Eklashevsky.
On a swing through the Persian Gulf today, Defense Secretary William Cohen pumped up American troops in Kuwait, climbing atop one of the F-117 stealth fighters that would lead the way in any airstrikes over Iraq. With diplomatic solutions rapidly running out, Cohen warns only Saddam Hussein can now prevent a war.
He holds in his hands the keys to this crisis.
Meanwhile, the military buildup continues. In fact, as of today, American forces in the Gulf have 5 times more precision-guided bombs and missiles than were launched during the entire Gulf War. The weapons are also smarter, more accurate, and more deadly than in 1991. Tomahawk cruise missiles launched from ships, planes, and submarines can now be steered to their targets by global positioning satellites. The Air Force is rushing to perfect new bunker buster bombs that would theoretically incinerate biological weapons deep underground. Pilots could also receive real-time satellite photos beamed to their cockpits to lead them directly to their targets.
We dominate the high ground. We are the only nation in the world that has these kind of satellite capabilities.
But with all these weapons and new technology, there's a big problem. Pentagon officials admit there's little or no chance airstrikes alone could take out Saddam Hussein's chemical, biological, or missile weapons programs.
You cannot target what you don't know, and you can't kill what you can't target.
This exclusive surveillance video obtained by NBC News illustrates the problem. In tests in the Arizona desert, U.S. forces have difficulty in hunting down mobile Scud missiles, the kind Saddam could use to launch chemical and biological warheads. The missiles could be fired and the launcher back on the move in only 10 minutes. Not enough time for U.S. warplanes to find them before they take cover. Even worse, these smart weapons cannot tell the difference between soldiers and civilians, limiting the number of potential targets. In the Gulf War, the U.S. bombed a command bunker in Baghdad, but instead of Saddam's generals, it was filled with women and children. General Tom Kelly, who helped run the war from the Pentagon, remembers it vividly.
Jesus Christ. I mean, what did we do? It was terrible. I mean, it was just terrible.
Pentagon officials insist that airstrikes alone could still deliver Saddam a serious blow. But with all the potential drawbacks, officials here admit that military action is not the best option, it is the last option. Jim Miklashevsky, NBC News, the Pentagon.
And a footnote to all of this, Russian President Boris Yeltsin was added again today. During a visit to Italy, he told reporters that UN Secretary General Kofi Annan was going to fly to Baghdad to oversee diplomatic efforts to end this crisis. But Yeltsin was wrong. Annan told reporters that he has no intention of going to Iraq and has canceled other travel plans to stay at the UN headquarters in New York City. Coming up, a taste of the people's view on the crisis surrounding the president and catching the hottest wave on the slopes. Who are those kids whizzing down the mountains as if on a surfboard?
Dilbert for Office Depot.
I've decided to abandon logic and manage by cliches. It won't be easy, but I'll take it one bird at a time. And remember, the customer is always right-handed.
This is actually an improvement. Here's a real improvement. Office Depot's best catalog ever. Easier to use, easier to read, more products. Call today for your copy and start getting fast, free delivery, guaranteed low prices. Business is crazy, but Office Depot makes sense.
Most cold medicines can raise your blood pressure. If you have high blood pressure, don't take chances. Get the facts from the American Heart Association. This message is brought to you by Coricidin HBP, cold medicine specially formulated for people with high blood pressure.
Come on, ice cream for everyone.
Oh, none for me, thanks.
Why?
Dairy foods do a number on my stomach.
You lactose intolerant?
Huh?
You know, gas, bloating. I get it too, but it's no problem anymore. Try this.
Lactaid Ultra. One little caplet just before eating lets you digest dairy foods easily and naturally.
Next time, let's go for milkshakes.
With a little Lactaid Ultra on the side.
Lactaid Ultra. Go on, enjoy dairy again. Call 1-888-ULTRA now for a free sample.
Grand cinnamon rolls from Pillsbury.
They're ready.
The most enormous, ooey gooey, luscious.
Should we wake the others?
Let them sleep.
Now with more cinnamon.
They're not just big, they're grand.
Hi, my name is Sierra, and this is my very own Gateway commercial.
Hello, welcome to South Dakota.
If you want to buy a computer, call my mom. She's right back here. Hi, Mom.
Hi, Sierra.
She knows a lot about computers, and she's really nice.
Pentium 2 processor and monitor for under $2,000.
She really is nice.
You betcha.
You should call my mom.
Gateway computers feature Intel Pentium 2 processors. Give us a call. You've got a friend in the business.
Now to the hotspots making news tonight. Chicago, a rough landing for an American Airlines 727. It clips approach lights at O'Hare Airport, skidding 2,500 feet before running off the runway. No injuries. It was heavy fog at the time. That could have been a factor. In the country of Georgia, apparently an assassination attempt against Edward Shevardnadze, the president of the former Soviet Republic. Officials say gunmen opened fire in Shevardnadze's car as he headed home. He wasn't hurt, but a bodyguard was killed and several others were wounded. Oslo, Jody Williams, who shared the 1997 Nobel Peace Prize with the international campaign to ban landmines, is quitting as head of that organization and taking her half of the $1 million prize money. Williams says she'll use the $500,000 to continue the fight against landmines and to write a book. Now to the talk of the nation. A president in crisis, the media in a frenzy, and Americans who are giving the president his highest approval ratings ever, even though in the latest NBC News Wall Street Journal poll, 39% think the allegations against him are true. Only 30% believe his denial. NBC's Kelly O'Donnell tonight, listening to the people.
But that can be difficult. Yes.
We invited a gathering of Californians, Democrats and Republicans, for a full-course conversation and sampled their views about the allegations and the investigation.
How has the American public reacted to all of this? What words come to mind?
Soap opera and bored.
Disgusted.
It's a non-issue. Most of this group is just as quick to sum up the investigation as politically driven, bent on getting the president. Some here have come to think the president's actions open him up to this scrutiny. Since the controversy began 3 weeks ago, his approval rating has only gone up.
Anytime someone becomes more human and relatable, they might become more popular.
Since '92, the guy has been doing the same thing and lying. So to people, it's a way of life.
Support for the president doesn't surprise any of these voters. While they are divided on the crisis, they are unanimous in their disappointment.
He is the leader of this great nation, and he is our moral leader. And so far, he hasn't been a moral leader. And I feel he's not going to be able to govern with this.
But I think him not governing is probably the best thing that can happen for this country.
Exactly. You're right.
If these allegations are true, should the president be impeached? What do you think?
If he testified under oath that he did not have the affair, then yes, he needs to be impeached because that is a felony.
As president, he's doing what we elected him to do.
Is an attorney disbarred when he participates in infidelity? No.
Judgments about honesty aren't so clear-cut. 4 of the 5 at this table acknowledge they would probably lie if faced with the same accusations.
The president has made denials. Has he said enough for you?
This is more of a marital issue, not a presidential issue.
I think the fact that he has said, I did not do this, is enough for me until proven otherwise.
First of all, we're making an assumption that we can believe what he says to begin with.
This sure as heck has nothing to do with this presidency.
This is gossip. I've never indulged in gossip, and why should I be doing it with my president? I think it's gone too far. I think enough is enough.
Kelly O'Donnell, NBC News, Pasadena.
When we come back, the fastest growing sport in America. Why are millions surfing down the mountains without skis?
Last winter, after years of high cholesterol, Mike Vaughn had a heart attack. He spoke to his doctor about Zocor, a cholesterol medicine proven to help save the lives of people with high cholesterol and heart disease. Now he's made some important plans with Alex. When diet and exercise aren't enough, talk to your doctor about adding Zocor. Zocor is a prescription medicine and is not right for everyone. It is not for people with liver problems or women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Your doctor may perform blood tests to check for liver problems. Because serious side effects can result, tell your doctor about any muscle pain or weakness you experience while on Zocor. And tell your doctor about any medicines you are taking. For product information, talk to your doctor or pharmacist, or call 1-800-MERC-94. Zocor is the most often prescribed cholesterol medicine. Aren't there enough reasons in your life to ask your doctor about Zocor? Zocor, cholesterol medicine that helps save lives. It's your future. Be there.
And now, a sparkling performance on soap scum. The Scrubbing Bubbles. Nothing cleans and disinfects better in the bathroom. Scrubbing Bubbles, only in Dow Bathroom Cleaner. We work hard, so you don't have to.
In hospitals, speed counts. So when patients get heartburn, they get 1-minute Malox. It starts to work on stomach acid in about 1 minute. Pepcid AC could take 45. Hospitals trust Malox. Shouldn't you?
Count on 1-minute Malox.
The nest is empty.
Your work is done.
So powerful.
It's time to kick back and have some fun.
So agile.
You got the car now.
DeVille with the North Star system.
For who you are now, you're making whoopee.
DeVille for the time of your life.
Oh, look at you.
The president, the allegations. For answers to the hard questions and the latest revelations, turn to NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw, America's news leader.
Tonight, before Monica Lewinsky, there was Travelgate, Whitewater, and Jennifer Flowers. See all the president's scandals on Time and Again tonight on MSNBC.
Before these Winter Olympic Games began in Nagano, they were worried there wouldn't be enough snow. Well, now the opening days of competition have been plagued by, you guessed it, too much snow, way too much. The first big event, the men's downhill skiing, was postponed because of excessive snow on Saturday. And today, the hot new Winter Olympic sport was postponed as well. Snowboarding, the sport the kids brought to the slopes with an attitude that offended the traditionalists until they realized this was an avalanche that couldn't be stopped. Here's NBC's Roger O'Neill.
They were outlaws on the slopes. But today, the bad boys and girls in baggy pants are the darlings of ski areas everywhere.
I got you. Nice, very smooth. Very smooth. Good.
Oh, no.
Snowboarding has become very, very important. This year we can anticipate something in excess of 20% of the tickets sold will be sold to snowboarders.
Oh, this is just classic snowboard racing.
And with snowboarding in the Olympics, there's a new era of legitimacy to a sport that only became popular 10 years ago.
The first snowboards were called surfers. They were crude cousins to the surfboard, but they were very unwelcome relatives to those who wanted to put their feet on two boards and ski down a mountain.
Skiing took off in the 70s, and resorts wanted nothing to do with the rowdy rider image of snowboarders. But the ski business went downhill in the late 80s when baby boomers got older and left the slopes. Then boarders were welcome, and they saved the resorts from a bumpy ride.
There you go. Excellent.
Now, from friendly instructors, this special snowboard park built just for them, only 7 of the nation's 500 ski areas still ban boarders.
Taylor has that?
And what was grunge is now high fashion. 175 manufacturers are making snowboards.
It's not all kids. The marketplace is really being driven by people that want to try something different.
Like George Blair, who's boarding at age 82.
I'm a kid at heart, brother.
But it was when mom and dad put on boards to be with their kids that resorts like Keystone in Colorado said yes to snowboarding.
The 180-degree turnaround here at Keystone is a function of demographics and demand.
In other words, money. All of the resort's growth last year was due to snowboarders. In the next 15 years, boarders are expected to outnumber skiers. A new king of the mountain, riding a whole new edge. Roger O'Neill, NBC News, Keystone, Colorado.
No, the Olympics have not been moved. They are being held in Nagano, Japan. Nagano, Japan. Tomorrow night, the end of the line for an American legend.
They bring these people in from overseas, and we show them what we're doing, and we teach them our jobs, and the next thing we know that they've got our jobs.
It was a great place to work, so what happened? And it could happen to your job. That's Nightly News for Monday. I'm Tom Brokaw. I'll see you back here tomorrow night.
Tomorrow and today, it's Oscar nomination time. Which actors will receive the honor? Which movies? Find out as it happens. The Academy Award nominations live tomorrow and today.
Tonight, check out Fired Up's Guide to Love. Date number 1, take it slow. Date number 3, a little bit of romance.
The scented candles, the champagne, the rose petals.
You don't have to wait that long to get a handgun. And date number 5?
Come and get it.
Oh, yeah. Only Fired Up NBC tonight.